been quite a while since I've recorded another video, so a little bit of catching up to you, I guess. Really, there's been big events that's been happening. Now I'm going to title it as Black Lives Matter, Day One. It is pretty fascinating, I guess, the movement. I think it kind of combines a couple of different issues, which is one, racial bias and racial discrimination against Black Americans, and two, police brutality. And it seems like police brutality most notoriously affects minority groups. So it's quite a terrible situation, I think, overall, to see in our political climate, like this current situation around these issues. And I do believe that there is kind of great discrimination against blacks in America. And I think there's also a case where police just simply should not be so brutal. I think they've been over-equipped to handle like civil law enforcement. I mean, really, there's no need for a police department to have a tank. I mean, there's no good situation that could come from that. And it's really horrifying to kind of like just like look at the stories of how people, Black Americans, kind of experience their lives in the U.S. and they seem to have been murdered by police for no reason, and they've been cast doubt upon just because of a color of their skin. That's truly terrifying. I think it is a tough issue to kind of move forward with. Obviously, there's seems to be some great systemic oppression of this, and we kind of have to kind of go through it and have significant reforms to kind of break through them, I think. So what's really great, I guess, is really what everyone can do individually. I know that all over social media, I have people that I know, acquaintances, who are kind of spreading the message and kind of raising awareness about different issues like defunding the police and certain stories of individuals who had terrifying experiences with the police, and ultimately many of them ended up in death. So I guess in what I've done, I've actually donated about $500 to racial inequality, and I think this is probably my largest charitable contribution that I've ever done. I think it is, I can't really say if it's large or small. I think that's pretty much the amount that I was comfortable with giving. My employer also matched it, so the $500 I contributed ended up being a total of about $1,000 towards racial inequality, which I'd say is a good amount of money, although as far as like my own charitable contributions, it's not particularly significant amount of money from my side, but I think that it is the amount of money that I'm comfortable with giving, and I think everyone should kind of consider what are they comfortable with, because really I think there's kind of a big message sent just by committing a certain financial resource to these movements, even if it's not necessarily a large amount or amount that the most you can give. It is just say something about yourself to actually contribute to these causes. So I do encourage everyone to do that, or contribute any other way that they can, such as spreading awareness and whatnot. I think going out there to protest, it's actually very brave, right? Because actually, as we see protests erupt around the country, I mean, the police are absolutely terrifying, right? They're sending out tear gas, rubber bullets, flashbangs. I mean, these seems kind of unbelievable that you can use this against civilians in your own country. I mean, we're all people here in America, so honestly, kudos to all you protesters who go out there. It is like fighting a war, I imagine. So yeah, I think that's all I have for today. I think this is kind of a catching up, and I'll probably reflect more on this as time goes on, since this is probably the biggest topic of today. So I'll see you later. Oh my. Here we go. It's a little bit of simple dish. Got some chicken thighs, previously frozen, so I gotta cook it for like half an hour, 35 minutes. But it tastes good. With some bok choy over here and some noodles under it all. Nom nom. Alright, so here we go on another grocery run. This grocery run seems to be a little cheaper than normal. I think it's just that I just bought like some cheap goodies this time. So Here we go. Soy milk. Start off with the boring things first. Got some carrots. You know, it's surprising to me that like this bag is like $3, but that's many meals of veggies. So eating healthy can also be pretty cheap, better than cookies at least. Got some bok choy. Loading up on some tofu as well. Quite nice. Switching up with the meats this time. This time is pork Coca-Cola. I'm not really sure what that means, but it's shabu shabu, so it's some kind of hot pot meal. I decided to try out some unhealthy foods. All dressed potato chips. I'm not really sure what all dressed is. I think it's a kind of seasoning, but I think that's more popular in the UK. I don't think it's a very big thing in the US, but I mean, this is a US brand, so I don't know what's up with that. Spaghetti. There's some nice strawberries. They're quite large. I don't know why they're in the wooden box. I guess it's cheaper. I don't know if it's cheaper, but it's like better for the environment supposedly. But they added a little bit of like a plastic wrap over there, so not sure what that's all about, but pretty cool. Got some cabbage. Can't do without that. Aha, a little bit of a new thing, corn. There was like 10 corn for $2, but that was way too much corn, so I got a 4-for-1 deal, which is pretty cool. Hopefully it's easy to cook. I don't really have the kind of materials to cook it, but I think I could just do it in like a pan and just let it boil over, and whew, nothing better than a little bit of corn to have, right? And lastly, I got some salmon. It's a little wet. I guess it's from the rain, so I guess I gotta get through that fast. But yeah, that's all there is for today. I'll see you later.